The war that is currently going on in Iran or in the Middle East is a very interesting one. Most people are not looking at what is actually happening on the ground. They're just listening to news outlets and getting enraged that Donald Trump have decided to skyrocket crude oil. The Strait of Hormuz have been closed, and Donald Trump has messed up the world in a very big and very ugly fashion. I bet to disagree, and hear me out. This is why. Iran is a state-sponsored terrorist country. You can't tell me anything other than that. Israel is literally fighting for its survival, but yet it seems the whole world have turned their backs on Israel. I think Israel is the bad guy in this whole situation. To the extent that some even people of great repute, who I thought obviously are very smart people, which unfortunately they probably are not, they give that kind of, but they are really far away from wisdom. It seems they are running away from sense in this kind of case because they don't look at the facts on the ground. Yes, there's a humanitarian crisis going on. I'm not going to disagree with that. There are people who are losing their lives on the ground. There are infrastructures that have been destroyed. There are things that have happened in the Middle East because of this war. That is not a good thing to even speak about. But let's be sincere and honest here. What are the objectives that US and Israel is trying to achieve? Trying to make sure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. Trust me, if Iran has nuclear weapons, that will be the end of the world. It's not necessarily having the nuclear weapon that's the problem. It's the mindset or the ideology they actually carry out. That's the problem. They believe in total dominance. They believe that Islam is the only way that everybody must abide by. But that is a problem in itself. They don't give options for people to choose. It's like how Muhammad started the religion in the first place. It's either you allowed him to conquer you, or he conquered you and completely annihilated you. If he chose to spare you, you pay jizyat. That is, you pay taxes to him to keep you alive and to make sure you're free to do what you want to do. Even with that, there are limitations to it. So it's not as if what Iran is trying to do is something we should be applauding. Yes, it's a sovereign state, but if you look at its people were even rebelling against the government because it's an illegitimate government that is there. Iran is a Persian country. It's the Ayatollahs who seized that country and turned into an Islamic republic. And as a result, they have been completely putting the people in shackles. And the people were frustrated and tired enough that they led a large protest and they killed a lot of their own people. They have put systems in place to check their own people. It's like a communist China. And yet people out there giving them adoration. Israel have been fighting these people for several years just to exist. Not for the fun of it, but just to exist as a nation. They have been chanting death to Israel, death to America. And yet we feel like they are the bad ones in this whole scenario. If US and Israel did not take this chance and attack Iran, trust me, in a few years from now, they would have developed a nuclear weapon. That's a fact. They would have built up their ballistic missiles, which they have a lot of them in stock. And they have a lot of long-range drones that can be used to attack innocent people. Look at this war. Whilst US and Israel were attacking their production of missiles, or they are attacking their production or their storage of nuclear uranium, they decided to attack civilian infrastructure, energy infrastructure. They even started targeting their own Gulf neighbors. How ridiculous is that? They attacked Saudi Arabia, they attacked the UAE, Bahrain, their own people, Qatar. Even threatening to the extent of trying to annihilate some companies, US companies like Meta, Microsoft, and etc. How disturbing can that actually be? And for us to leave these people alone and say that, oh, they are a sovereign country, they can do whatever they want, that is completely wrong. And I believe that at the end of the day, when this whole war comes to an end, At least, even if it can't cause a regime change, at least it has weakened them at least for about 25 to 30 years for them to develop whatever they have, because they really have the uranium to build their nuclear weapons. They have launch pads to launch their drones. Right now they are targeting the production of those things and making sure that they take them out, as well as their leadership. Thank God the Ayatollah is dead. Thank God Khamenei is dead. Even though they have someone who they say has succeeded him, no one has seen him. The worst part of it is I heard he's gay. If it's true, good for the United States and America. They should be throwing him from the rooftops, because that's what is prescribed for them to do to those who declare themselves as homosexuals. There's a whole lot that is going on in this war. I think people need to rally behind the United States and America, the United States of America and Israel, to finally end this crisis. Epic Fury, Roaring Lion is the way to completely bring an end to this regime. It's sad that the European countries are thinking that Trump started the war, so he should resolve the war. Funny enough, America is far away from where the Middle East is. To take some time before they can be able to create an intercontinental ballistic missile to reach them. So he's safe. So it's up to them to make that decision. I just felt I needed to put this thing out there so that we understand the whole issue and not think that this is something that America or Israel is doing for their own benefit. They are doing it for the benefit of the world. And I think we all need to rally behind them. That's my 2 cents on this issue.